Simpson. And Japan have gone absent without leave. This is Whitmore. Hall and Gale both available. It's still Whitmore. It is the Reggae Boys who take the lead.
Ballchat. Greetings, football lovers. Welcome to another episode of Ballchat Podcast, where we review some of the week's major news in the world of football. My name is Benton. What a football game. The conclusion of the Netherlands versus Ukraine game. This is the reason why we're a late football family. Of course, Brazil getting ready to kick off against Venezuela, and we'll give you updates on that game. But football family, Ballchat Podcast about reviewing some of the week's major news. And we have the family on board this week. Come on, Junior, go on, family. How you guys doing?
I'm good.
Well, I'm here now. I'm here and hoping for a clean run, COVID-free Copa.
Well, it's not really COVID-free, Junior. They already have issues with Venezuelan players testing positive. But football lovers, we're gonna give you updates of the Venezuela game throughout the show. We're gonna keep you abreast of that score of the game as the game is currently going on. We'll review some of the major news. We have the Reggae Boys and Reggae Girls games that we'll talk about. We'll talk about the Reggae Girls game coming on later tonight as they get ready to play the U.S. women's team later on tonight. Junior, we doing a live stream for that game? A watch along?
Let's put a poll out there and see if people want to do a watch along. I don't feel like watch a horror movie tonight. Come on, what is a watch along?
I'll be up for it. I'll be watching the game, definitely. So.
I want to watch it. I want to sit and watch it. I don't want to watch it and talk. I want to sit. Watch it.
Football lovers. If you join us on Flow Sports, join us on Ballchat YouTube page or Ballchat Facebook page. You can take part in the show. It's a live and interactive show. We'll talk about Concacaf World Cup qualifiers that update the second round results. We'll discuss the Jamaican Premier League and the Yard Ballers segment. Later on the show, we have a special guest, Mr. Andrew Price, that will join us, coach of Humble Lion, and we talk about the upcoming Jamaican Premier League. So let's kick it off, football family. It was a sad day yesterday in the world of football. What happened on the field with Christian Eriksen? Thankfully, the latest update, he's stable, he's doing well, he's at least doing better. He's speaking to, spoke to his teammates. Football family, we're not going to show any images of what transpired yesterday. We're not going to show any images of Christian Eriksen throughout today's show. But come on, Junior, I just want to get your thoughts and your thoughts on what happened yesterday.
As a mom to a footballer, it is one of my biggest fears. I mean, really and truly, one of my biggest fears to see, a footballer. In his prime. I mean, when you talk about fit, I mean, how much fitter can you talk about a footballer? They play for 90 plus minutes at times. They train constantly. They eat right. They constantly do their medical tests and stuff. So when you see something like this for young guys, 29, and they're saying that they can't find anything wrong, then it is really troubling. It brought back memories. I don't know if you remember with Fabrice, the same thing. And then with the young, was it George's player back home?
Yes.
It just brought back memories. And I think Jamaica football, like schoolboy football, I think Issa should look at this and really make sure that whatever they did yesterday to save his life, they should implement it so it could save a footballer back home life. So it's really good news that he was up in the mode. Yeah, and I do understand because when I saw him on the ground, because my brother has epilepsy, so when I saw him on the ground, it looked like something that I've seen before. And the fact that his teammate, made sure that nothing was blocking, I think that in itself kind of saved his life as well, because you have to free up the airport. So, it was sad to see, but I'm glad it had a happy ending.
Yes, really sad day in the world of yesterday, the events that transpired during the game against Finland, the Danish team against Finland. And Junior, before you comment about this, this could happen anywhere, professional setting, pickup game setting, anywhere it could happen. You know, we play in a Sunday league football. It could happen there so also, and it has happened in a game that I've played in the past with a friend of mine. So, Junior, your thoughts on what transpired yesterday?
Yeah, I mean, it is mixed. Had such mixed emotions with world football over this weekend because it started out where it were natural sounds coming out of the stadium for an international tournament, and it sounded good, and it felt good to see fans in the stands cheering on their teams, and then we also got another reminder how fragile life is when we saw what happened to Christian Eriksen. I mean, it's a harsh reminder. It's something that we all should not take for granted. And I'm happy to see the young man doing better. Hopefully, his prognosis will be back where he can be back on the field and playing again. That's one thing I hope for. I'm happy that his wife and I think his young kids were in the stands. I know he has two young kids, but I know his wife was definitely there because there's a meme out there where the captain, he's the one that sprung into action and did life saving
Yeah,
CPR.
CPR. Yeah, your life-saving techniques to help save.
The wife. So it just showed how fragile life can be, and even though it's just a game, it showed that it's just a game, and life is just it was heart wrenching.
Yeah, it was scary indeed. And you spoke about Kejier, the captain, what he did, but this is just a reminder to us. I mean, it doesn't take much to learn CPR. Whether you're playing in games, you never know when it might come in handy. And like I said, we had an experience in our games where we had a friend that also succumbed to some injuries after collapsing on the field, sadly. So, Kamon spoke about Fabrice Muamba's episode years ago when he was a Bolton Wanderers player. Fabrice put out a statement, and it read pretty much a player who have been through this, player who went through this. He said, the incident yesterday makes you realize how fragile life is and how quickly you can lose a loved one. Like everyone, I am relieved to hear Christian is in a stable condition and that he's doing okay. Credit, of course, must go to the brilliant medical staff who got to him so quickly and did an amazing job to make sure he's okay. They deserve a lot of credit. And of course, he went on to say that the family needs privacy now. They need the ability to heal. The kids, everyone needs the ability to kind of go through this moment mentally because it's definitely tough. And Fabrice spoke about his episode in his book, I Am Still Standing. And in that book, he spoke about the struggle. You get the perspective from his family, how his wife and his children really were just, worried about what was happening to her husband and her dad. So, it's fragile family, fragile, and glad to hear that Christian is doing better, and we hope he makes a full recovery, family. Anything else to add? Come on, anything else to add?
No, I mean, it's just, a reminder, as you said, that life is fragile. And it was really, 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 important for us to see that it was more than football yesterday. So, we're happy that he's okay. And we just need to, other teams, like other countries, and I keep stressing Jamaica because, we are lagging behind in that regard. Can take from this.
Yeah, and those defibrillators, the things that you need at those fields. I mean, that can, like you said, that player in the Manning Cup game that collapsed and sustained life-threatening injuries. Those defibrillators at those stadiums and at those fields can really make a huge difference. So credit to the medical staff, and we'll hopefully this becomes enlighten this thing and make us more aware of what needs to happen at the field just so we can save more lives, so the medical staff can save more lives. The players have been given their tributes, Lukaku and the likes. They're rallying around Christian Eriksen, and we like to see that. Let's step away from the sad news of yesterday. Let's get to some games on the field and let's discuss football in our own backyard and discuss the Concacaf World Cup qualifiers at round two games that are coming up. Curacao versus Panama. First leg ended 2-1 in favor of Panama. El Salvador beat the brakes off St. Kitts, and Canada won their leg 1-0 for Haiti. Is it over for this St. Kitts versus El Salvador game?
Time.
I,
Long time.
I have to ask. I have to
I
ask.
mean, the only thing that can happen right now is that St. Kitts get 15 penalties because El Salvador played them, all of them score all of them. But it was like men playing versus boys. It was just not a really good game, and the result proved it. There's no coming back from that.
Yeah, St. Kitts got a beaten, and Pogama scored 2 goals. He's the leading goal scorer so far in this round for El Salvador in CONCACAF World Cup qualifier. Your thoughts on Canada versus Haiti? Canada went to Haiti, picked up this 1-0 victory. The next leg will be played Tuesday, June 15th in Chicago. Do you saw something different from this Canadian team that makes you believe that they will make it to the octagonal and put up a significant fight?
I don't know.
You don't know.
I don't even. I don't know. All I know is that Haiti is one of those teams that sometimes they're good, sometimes they're bad, and for them, it's not like with St. Kitts or whatever. For them, I'm not going to count them out as yet. We'll see what the second leg brings.
Yeah, Junior, what does Haiti have to do to get something to overturn this deficit in Chicago?
Hope that is a very hot day.
But it was a hot day in Haiti.
Hope like it's 120 degrees. I mean, come on. I'm just surprised that Canada only squeaked out with a 1-0 victory.
Okay.
And they should not have left it to this close of a game. They should not have left it to where Haiti can have the perfect game and win 2-1 and go through, right? They should not.
Yeah.
Shouldn't. So what can Haiti do? I don't think Haiti is in a bad position, but it is going to speak to their professionalism as a team if they can somehow come and overcome this deficit. It's not insurmountable. They're not playing in Vancouver. They're not playing in Toronto or BMO Field where there's going to be a packed stands. It's a neutral site game. It's a neutral site game. I know a whole heap of Haitians in Chicago. So
we hope the Haitians turn up for the game.
I'm just surprised. You ask someone the question. Can Canada make it to the act? Yes, they can. They should. Can they make nice? Probably not.
No, probably not. I mean, I thought Jonathan David missed a couple of chances to actually seal this up for Canada. The game that's also evenly balanced is Panama versus the tie that's evenly balanced. Panama versus Curacao. Panama won the first leg 2-1 in Panama. Now they return. Now they go to Curacao. Can Patrick Kluivert's team, Curacao, overturn this deficit?
Yes. Yes. you know, I'm a big believer when it comes to Curacao. I think Curacao is on the rise. I do think that Curacao can overturn this. I do think so.
Okay. What should they try to figure out? They need to figure out something to do with Quintero, to bottle him up, to kind of suppress him, because he's hugely instrumental in what Panama does. I mean, Curacao likes to pass the ball around, and they're not very fast. They're a very possession-oriented team. Whereas Quintero, very small but very tiny in small space. He does stupid stuff all the time, but his pace is an integral part, and he scored a nice little goal for Panama. But shouldn't the experience of Panama carry them through to this thing? I mean, This is a battle-hardened Panamanian team in the trenches of Concacaf World Cup qualifiers.
Yeah, but Curacao have experienced players as well. I mean, it's not like they have a whole bunch of tiki on the pitch. I mean, they have players who have played together, played at decent level football. So I mean, at any given day, football is football. We've seen Panama wet the bed on more than one occasion. So, but a 2-1 scoreline is nothing to be comfy about. It just, I keep telling you, all they need is 2 penalties, and it gone through.
Return, all it needs 2 penalties. Junior, what do you think about this Panama versus Curacao matchup?
I agree with Camon. I agree 100% with Camon. It's not insurmountable. And Panama, the pressure is on them. Curacao has overachieved as far as everybody is concerned. So they can play free and can just go out there and try to score 3 goals and give up 4. It's possible, but they can play free without any form of pressure. Panama knows that for the last couple World Cup cycles, Gold Cup cycles, they were always one of the top 4 to 5 teams in Concacaf. They don't want to not make it to the final round. So let's see how they handle that pressure in Curacao. And I don't know how much seat the Curacao Stadium will hold.
It's not a very big stadium. It's quite small, but they do make a lot of noise because we did watch the game against Guatemala in the first round, and they were very loud crowd. So just to remind football families again, the second legs will be this Tuesday. Curacao versus Panama Tuesday at 8 p.m. Panama versus Canada versus Haiti. This is 9:05 p.m. Tuesday. El Salvador versus St. Kitts, also 9:05 on Tuesday. And the winner of these second round matches goes on to the third round, where so of course Canada, Haiti, winner of that contest will join the other 5 teams waiting. Of course, Honduras, USA, Costa Rica, Mexico, and Jamaica are currently waiting for the winners of these ties to join them. So I pick Curacao to beat Panama coming in. I am cautiously thinking that Curacao might do it, but I saw something in Panama the other night that was quite resilient. Of course, they were at home. I think Gabriel Torres surprised me somewhat. I think the fact that Blas Perez is missing from this outfit, I thought there was going to be a huge problem for them. All right, so those are CONCACAF World Cup qualifiers. Let's try to get to some other major news in the world of football that occurred this week. Let's get to the Reggae Girls quickly, football family, and discuss Jamaican football before we get to Euro. Reggae Girls played in a friendly game, and they'll play Team USA later on tonight. Football family, your thoughts on the Reggae Girls' performance against Nigeria? Game ended 1-0 for the Reggae Girls, and of course they'll take on the big bad USA tonight. We'll deal with the Reggae Boys in a second, but the fact that they haven't played in a year, your thoughts on the Reggae Girls' performance?
It was a good enough performance. The game, it just showed that both teams have not played for a minute, right? So you could see that it was balanced in that regard. Jamaica was actually the better side, which is kind of surprising because Nigeria is known to be, rough, fast, strong, and a little bit more clinical than we are. So it was a good game from us. We possessed the ball more. We had more chances. We created more chances. The penalty was a joke. She needs to practice penalties over and over, but she redeemed herself. And I just think that we miss money. Let us just say that outright.
Yes.
But listen, Shiny Lou, Asha, you need to come on the show. We need to talk to you. She is so underrated. All right, I'm going to go as far as to call her my little content because she is up and down the park. She puts in a solid shift every time she's on the pitch. And I think she's overlooked more time. But she is a baller. I'm not sure if Kanya is lacking confidence. But the Kanya that we know, because the Kanya that we know, the rough and tumble Kanya that we know that brought us to the World Cup, that had good moments in the World Cup, was missing during that game. So the lack of playing time is actually showing on her. But we really held our own. Seeing the camp just get put together, the players them just come together. A one love victory is good. 3 points is always better. So we were okay. I mean, we can pass.
Yeah, big up to BM. BM says, as it relates to the Canadian team, he says, I love the Canadian team. I think they are one of the favorites to qualify for the World Cup. There are a lot of Canadian fans who are very optimistic about this Canadian team. Speaking of the Reggae Girls, Junior, Camone spoke about Kanya Plummer, but she's been playing in US in NWSL, Camone. So I figured she would have been still have some of those match sharpness that some of the other players wouldn't have.
No, but I don't think it. I agree 100% with Camone.
Yeah.
Now we're two teams that has not played football together for a while.
Okay, so it's more of the cohesiveness.
Right. So you can be match fit, yes, but for number one, it was what, only 8 players from the World Cup team, I think, was in the squad or something like that. It was a small number, right? So Kanya is playing with players that she probably have never played before in her life, right? So that chemistry needs to be built. Everything. This was a perfect game for Jamaica to start with. You can't imagine if they started playing against the US women's game first without getting this game under their belt. So it is to me, I'm happy. I like what I saw, but I want to tell him, Jody Brown, he fast like a bullet. I mean, from the World Cup qualifiers, I was kind of worried when she got injured, right?
Yeah.
Got injured so early in her career. What would she look like when she come back?
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
I'll be 100% honest with you. This was my first time seeing her play in a long time. And
but she was playing college. She played in college.
She played for your alma mater, Junior.
Yeah.
But college versus and no disrespect to Florida State University. College versus international football is 2 different levels.
Yes.
So the requirement, the physical requirement for her to come back, I was impressed. I honestly was impressed by her, and the feet. You could tell by the camera angle. Out there was hot.
Yes.
And she was running at 100 miles per hour. So you know what? Apologies to the Florida State University staff. You guys did a magical job at my Seminoles in Tallahassee, Florida. If you want to send your child to a top-class college with top-class performance, go to Florida State University.
No. But hold on a second. Back to Kanya. Kanya has not logged any minutes for Orlando this season.
Oh, she has not?
No, I'm looking at the log. If NWSL keeping good log, which I kind of doubt because them have Kanya height as 0 feet, 0 inches, but whatever.
Yeah.
It says 0. I'm looking at all the games all the way from May.
Even if she's not injured, she's physically fit. You're not going to be playing.
But we talk about this all the time.
Yeah.
I mean, training fit is completely different from match fit. So she had a couple of things going against her. So that's why I'm saying that the thing is, the expectation is here, right? So when you see them perform like this, in your mind, you're like, okay, something must be wrong. Because we've seen her, Junior. We know you're a favorite girl, right? Yeah. So let's see her give me the side. And I was like, come off on my girl, So we saw Kanya. She lacked like a fitness. That they weren't cohesive. She didn't, she made the runs. The passes were kind of off. And she's lacking confidence. It's 3 of the killers right there. So hopefully she'll turn up tonight, because she'll be playing against some of her teammates.
So I think when I said that she was, I misspoke. I was wrong when I spoke about her logging minutes. what I saw her in was a Challenge Cup.
Challenge Cup.
The Challenge Cup, which preceded the NWSL season, right? So she
Right.
logged minutes in that. Okay, yeah. So
that was from April. So
okay.
now we're in June,
Okay.
and she has not logged any minutes. But it's okay, Fenton. You're always wrong. But
Thank you for clarifying. I was thinking about the chat. All right. So speaking about the Reggae Girls versus the U.S. Women's National Team tonight, this game, 10 p.m. Eastern Time. Of course, if you're in Jamaica, you can watch it on CVM TV. If you're here in the States, you can watch it on FS1. We saw the U.S. Women's National Team against Portugal. They came out winners. I mean, it's not the old U.S. team, the big bad U.S. team, I thought.
No, they barely win 1-0, and I've been saying this for years that the football world, the female football world, it was always been a gap, right? It's always been China and US, China,
Japan,
yeah.
Japan came late. Japan, Germany, those teams came late. I'm talking about, and Sweden. It was always Sweden, China, and the US women. US women number one by a whole lot, right?
Mm-hmm.
Germany, Japan start creeping in. Then you bring in the France. Then you bring in the Australia. Now the rest of the world is kind of start. Then you bring in Brazil. Brazil was always close, but couldn't be there. Now everybody, the gap is kind of closing now. Where before, like, and Title 9 and the Me Too people, I mean no disrespect in any way, shape, or form. But from the late 90s when I watch the US women play, and when you look at the females walking on the field, you say, wait, why these US women just look physically different? From 1 to 18 look physically different than everybody else they play against, right? I see that gap is starting to close. Skill-wise, speed-wise, everything is starting to close. So I don't think the 1-0 victory over Portugal, yes, US was somewhat dominant, but it's not smoke and mirrors. It is getting closer. With all that being said, Jamaica is not ready to play against US right now. They need 3 or 4 or 5 games under them belt before them can really put up a challenge. What I expect to see tonight is I expect to see the will of our girls go out there and play hard, but America is going to be a step ahead just because of match preparation.
Yeah, come on. Before you chime in, Julian said the gap is closing. Of course, the Team USA is on a new leadership. The former coach has moved on. Rose Lavelle returned from her stint with Man City, albeit a lukewarm stint with Man City. And your thoughts on this game tonight against the Reggae Girls? What do you expect? What are you looking for?
Just not bug me up. Go easy. Listen, my favorite player on the national team is Crystal Dunn.
Crystal Dunn, yes.
Crystal Dunn is one of the best players I've seen done at US. I mean, Abby Wambach is my girl too. But Crystal Dunn is somebody that I think the front line can really do battle with. Jody might be fast, but Crystal got us picture away like, flicker off. But I expect that we go out there, we play, we have nothing to lose. This is not anything that, that we really think that we going to win the trophy. Just go out there, gel. The new girls, them come in, them gel. But, and we just improve. So just think of it as practice.
Yeah.
Because I really don't want a 7-0 and a 4. Let them stop it at 3.
Yeah. Valuable minutes. They need valuable minutes. Of course, especially against the best, the standard bearer in this space. Valuable minutes is important. Speaking of bag up, let's step away to the Reggae Boys. Step to the Reggae Boys as they lost. A mixed week for the Reggae Boys. They lost 4-0 to the Japan U24, and they defeated Serbia 1-0.
No,
the drew 1-1. Drew 1-1 with Serbia. Jeez. sorry. Why no fussy? They drew 1-1 with Serbia. Andre Gray scored his initial goal, his first goal for Jamaica. Your thoughts on the mixed week for the Reggae Boys?
It was Serbia B team, albeit a good goal. Goalie, whatever. Was a good enough goal. They played well. It was more like individual players that played well. We're still missing the cohesiveness of the team. I am always saying that a player who's unattached must not play for his country. But I must say that Ravel, I just don't understand why Ravel can't find a club and stick with a club. Ravel have the English book. He was supposed to have no problem. Why Ravel is such a good player, right? Him stand out, but he's having issues on getting a club and sticking with a club or whatever. So Ravel had a good game. Everybody's saying that Japan babies beat us, but remember, I think Jerome Wade was the head coach for the Japan U23 outing, but they had young players still on the pitch, and they also had older players on the pitch. But these players, they don't play domestically. Some of them play in Spain. So you can see that these players actually gel. Jamaica not gel. To me, our issue is this. Tapa have a new 11. Every time I'm doing something, it's a new 11. Pick your core, work with your core, and drop in the players as they see fit. But this new, fresh set every time, this is what we're going to get. We were out of sync. Speedy is supposed to be speedy. Mr. The Japan man run left him. And he's a good enough player. I see everybody complain about Jamaican of call USL player, but come on. If the player is dominating the league that they're playing in, then you can't really omit them. It don't really make any sense. But when they get the opportunity, they need to go out there and show it. You see me on Twitter, I argue for Javon East. Javon East was invisible. So, come on, Malcolm, 30 years old. Yes, everybody must get the opportunity, but he was also invisible. So, Tapa is looking at players. Maybe now he'll eliminate some players and stick to a core 11 and then build on whatever his subs or whatever, second strings or whatever he needs. But it was, I'm not, the game was a loss, but it's not what I see everybody making a big deal out of. They drew 1-1 with Serbia, and then most of the players that played for Serbia, most of the starters, they did not play. So, it is practice. But please, let us not get buggled.
Yeah, Junior, your thoughts on this mixed week for the Reggae Boys?
Don't tell them I already said these were meaningless games because I can't sit down and judge. I cannot sit down and judge the Reggae Boys, a new side, and say, this is how we're going to look. We're going to play World Cup qualifiers and blah, blah, blah. No, I reserve my judgment for that. I'm happy to see the side get 2 games. Should have been 3. It sounded weird to say Japan under 23 or under 24, whatever you walk at, them Olympic side beat the Jamaican national side. It sounds bad. And worse to lose 4-0, it sounds bad. But all things being considered, look, I can't even judge the team. I can't even judge the players. I can't. I'm using this as a litmus test now. And my real litmus test will be in the Gold Cup. What will we look like in the Gold Cup? I have no idea. None.
Okay. And there are a few Reggae Boys fans that are clamoring for Tapa Whitmore to select his best 11. I mean, based on the game against Serbia, he made some modifications. But of course, he's still trying to figure out things in terms of who goes where. He deployed Damian Lowe in some sort of midfield role in that game against Serbia. So he's still experimenting. These friendly games for me are important minutes. It's an important time on the field and figure out what you have in terms of squad, in terms of personnel. Now, the Gold Cup, if you're forward at the Gold Cup and you do foolishness, then this is when my beating start. But ultimately, these friendly games are just preparing to see who you have, whether you get 4 or 5 or 6.
But can we agree though that the Gold Cup, even the Gold Cup, is not a good litmus test because by default Jamaica should at least make it to the semifinals. We can agree.
You better stop it, you know. You better stop it.
By
But whatever.
What is that default, Junior? By what default?
Jamaica one of the 4 best teams in Concacaf.
We're currently ranked as one of the top 5 teams in Concacaf. So I mean,
by default, they should make it to the semifinals.
Top 5.
But so if we don't make it to the semifinals, will you judge them?
Of course.
Okay.
No. If we make it to the semifinals and lose, I'm not going to sit here and sing their praises. I'm not going to do that. Because you know who they're going to play in the semifinals. It's going to either be Mexico or US. Right? Because remember, the Gold Cup is set up that Mexico and US can never play against each other unless it's in the final. That's a fact.
Those are the views that Junior bring.
The views that is written. The US and Mexico will never play against each other in the Gold Cup unless it's in the finals. That is written. So you're going to play against one of those teams in the semifinals.
Yeah, they've played the US in the semifinals before and defeated them on the top as 2000.
I will beat Mexico too. So I mean, bring it.
Those teams I judge them. I was happy. I was happy for the Reggae Boys then. But what did we do in the World Cup qualifier right after that?
Yeah, so, they didn't do anything, or they didn't make it to the World Cup.
In other words, screw up World Cup is World Cup. Your eyes on.
All right. To me, Tapa has the luxury of being able to pick a squad of players that will be available for the World Cup qualifiers. We have seen Jamaica field a World Cup squad, and we knew right off the bat at least 3 of them players not playing in the World Cup qualifiers. We knew right off the bat at least 5 or 6 of them will not play in the World Cup if Jamaica make it to the World Cup, which has always been what some people's critiques of Jamaica, including mine. Don't just pick some man. What is the goal? What is the goal of the Gold Cup? Is it to just go out there and just look your best, or are we trying? What is the ultimate goal for a coach in a cycle? It's called
trying to win the prize money.
No, but I see that is one possible goal. For me, the goal should be make it to the World Cup. We don't care about anything. Like if Jamaica was to bring, if Tapa was to have the confidence of the GFF and the public, where he can say, look, I am picking 18 players. I don't want to hear nothing about no other football. I don't want to hear about who want get Jamaican passport. I don't want to hear nothing about that. I'm picking 18 players right now. And we're going to go to the Gold Cup. But our goal is to make it to the World Cup. That means people now come tell me no foolishness about, oh, you never win Gold Cup, you need to get fired. That is not our goal. Our goal is to make it to the World Cup. That is where I'm reserving my. If Jamaica win World Cup now, it's a different argument. But if they make it to the semifinals, I would just sit here and be mum about it. If they lose in the first round, then all right. All them players want to hype up about, we need to have a conversation about it.
Yeah, that's the ultimate prize, right, Junior? The ultimate prize for Tapa Whitmore and his staff is to make it to the 2022 Qatar World Cup. But ultimately, the Gold Cup is supposed to be, in my opinion, should be a stepping stone to help build and strengthen that unit as they go into that rigorous World Cup qualifier. So, I am not worried about these World Cup these friendly games. I mean, the game against Serbia, I'm not worried about the game against Japan 22. I have some level of trust in Tapa and what he has done with this program with limited resources so far. We'll see. I will see what happens in the Gold Cup. I will see what happens in the Gold Cup. Come on, is that your stand too?
I understand what you're saying. That you don't worry because this is what we do. We watch football games. We don't panic. But Jamaica Football Federation cannot afford
this is true
to alienate fans. I mean, like when a casual person wants to watch a national team and then read a headline that says Jamaica national team loses 4-0 to Japan U23. I mean, like, you're turning away those fans. JFF can't afford that. So if you're going to go out there, you need to put your best foot forward at
Exactly.
all times.
Yeah, exactly. If you're gonna play the game for win. Basically, play for win. Before we continue our football discussion, we have a special guest joining us, coach of Humble Lion, Mr. Andrew Price, getting ready for the upcoming Jamaica Premier League season. Andrew, how you doing, family?
Thanks for having me, and thanks to all your viewers and listeners,
Uh,
I'm happy and delighted to be on the program.
Thank you for taking the time. Really appreciate. I know you're watching the Brazil versus Venezuela game, the Copa America game. Let me give an update to the football family. The current score is that Brazil is leading Venezuela 1-0 as expected. So, are you a fan of Brazil?
Yes, I'm a Brazilian living in Jamaica.
Most Jamaicans. That's a regular thing.
No, so hey, Benton,
Yes.
you have to give the right score updated because Brazil had what 3 disallowed goals. I'm watching the game too.
Yeah. So, well, Andrew, look at the Jamaican Premier League coming up, starting June 26th. You guys haven't played football in about a year approximately, or over a year or so since this pandemic began. How is the team looking, and what is the expectation as you get ready for this season?
Well, as I've said in Jamaica to several media houses, we would have wanted more time to prepare. I am not one for having this truncated season. I think the better thing to have done would have been to have canceled this season and have a new season starting in September where you can run for 7 months. But to have 3 months of football where you have one round and then playoffs after a break of a year and 2 months, I think that it's not practical. But the decision makers are the Jamaica Football Federation, and they have made a decision to start back the league on the 26th for 3 months. So as a participant, we have to prepare ourselves. We just started training 7 days ago because we had to adhere to the various protocols and had to get our ground passed for training to observe the training protocols. So it's a very short time span to be prepared. We are doing the best that we can, and we're going to try and see if we can be competitive for this truncated season.
Yeah, definitely understandable, difficult situation. In terms of squad depth, I mean, our size of the squad, what is the allowable squad for you guys, knowing that you're playing in a climate where players may become exposed to COVID and may become positive by COVID, and so be removed from the squad for a period of time. Are you guys allow an expanded squad for this upcoming truncated tournament?
Yes, you can register up to 50 players for the season and 30 at any given time. And if there are injuries or COVID-related circumstances, you can have players in and out. So, at least they give you that latitude where you can put in players in the event that you require to do so. Also, we have asked them for the 5 substitute rule because we believe that the players are going to be under a lot of stress just coming back from the COVID and having not played for a year and 2 months. They are going to be under a lot of stress, and we believe that we should institute the 5 substitution rules so that we can give the players an opportunity to complete the season. They're going to be playing matches once weekly, and I still think that is a little bit too much for them. And the competitive nature of Jamaican players, they're going to go all out. So we have asked for a 5 substitution rule, and we have also asked for them to put in the concussion rule, where if a player leaves the field as a result of a concussion, you are able to replace that player. Yeah. So those are the 2 things that the clubs have requested.
2 things that the clubs have requested. We're gonna look at the schedule here in a second, at least for until July 2nd. But come on, and Junior, we've often talked about the game and the need to try to get play going on the field back in Jamaica. And here's someone who's part of the setup and the teams and getting a team prepared, who's not necessarily a fan of this truncated team. Your guys' thoughts on this?
Hey, Coach Price, thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having me. Come on.
Hey, so I have a couple questions because they say that I am long-winded, so bear with me. So so on May 21st, Babsy Grain said that they're going to get all the players who will participate vaccinated. Do you know how that is going on? Have all your players been vaccinated?
No, one of the problems we have in Jamaica is that we have too many anti-vaxxers. And you can't force the players, just like how you can't force an employee to get vaccinated. You can encourage them, you can try and persuade them, but you can't force them. So what we are doing is moral persuasion to get the players vaccinated. Yes, the minister has indicated that she will assist us in getting the players vaccinated. We haven't started that program, but once we have started that program, we're going to ask that the players who are willing to get vaccinated do so. And we are going to encourage our players to do it, though there are around a lot of anti-vaxxers who are telling them they don't need to get vaccinated. But I believe that if all the players get vaccinated, we'll be in a better position to observe all the protocols and we can play for a longer period of time without any interruptions. So it's something that the clubs are trying to do, but as we can't actually force them to get vaccinated.
Okay, understandable. So how are you feeling about your team's preparation? How confident are you that this is your year?
Well, it's a 3-month season, so I as much as a lot of people might buy a lot into this competition, I am just doing it because I have to do it and my club has to participate. If in doing that we are able to win the competition, then all is good. But it's going to be very hard and very difficult to just get back into the groove right away after being out for such a long period of time. And it's going to cause a lot of stress on the players' bodies, and it's going to be very difficult. So, we're just going to have to take it gradually, build them up, and see where it leaves us at the end of the season. But, for 3 months, we have to guard ourselves from a lot of injuries in the intense competition that we're going to have. Because, as you know, you can't hold back players. They're going to want to go out there and be competitive. They want to have bragging rights. So they're going to play hard. And, we have to just monitor them and see how best we can preserve them for the 3 months.
Okay, I mean, fair enough. So do you think that with this tournament that it will help some players to be maybe selected to the World Cup squad, the World Cup qualification, or even potentially going overseas on loan? Because I know like USL, they can, get players right through the competition. Do you think that this will probably assist in getting some players some loan deals to go and play after this is over?
Yes, definitely, because one of the things, as you know, we are still under COVID restrictions here in Jamaica, so no spectators will be allowed at the games, but all the games will either be broadcast live or will be recorded. And as you know, we live in a very global village, so once overseas clubs are able to see the players, then they'll be able to scout and look at the type of talent that they would want, whether it's the USL, whether it's the Major League Soccer, whether it's even in Europe. They are able to look at these tapes and look at players and identify them. And if they are interested, then they will come and seek out the players. Also, it gives the local players an opportunity to try and nudge Coach Tapper Whitmore to see if they can get in the cadre of about 40 players that we're going to need for the World Cup qualifying later this year. So during that 3-month period, if they catch the eye of Coach Whitmore, they could be involved. I don't think it is too early for them to be a part of the Gold Cup project, but definitely for the World Cup qualifying, if they do well throughout that truncated tournament and catch the eye of the coach, they could very well be involved in the cadre of about 40 to 50 players, which we are going to require to participate in the World Cup.
All right, so I'm going to let Junior get in, but before he comes in, so I have like 10 more questions, but I'm going to give the last one. So, so congrats on nurturing Bonnie, Shamar, and Jody. I know that you've played an integral part in those three. I know there are others, but these are the three that really carrying the banner right now. So let us talk about them. So I want to say
Yes.
congrats on doing it. You've been a mentor on and off the field. I mean, you've been a mentor to my sister. Sometimes I vent to you and you're always there listening. So that's really a good trait. And we really appreciate you. So what is it that we need to do to get more Shamars, more bunnies, more Jody? What's the blueprint? How can we move forward? Because one of the things that I understand is that the women's program is sorely lacking, right? And it's really hard to kind of get oxygen to get it off the ground. Because even what's her name, Trudy?
Yes,
I mean,
Trudy Carter.
Judy Carter is an excellent footballer. And there's just, it's just unfortunate that she's in this position. So what is it that we can do to get a Bunny and a Jody from the talent that we have back home? Because I see it. When I go home, I see the talent down there. But what can we do to really propel them to the Bunny level?
What we
Even
have
the
to do
Jody
is
level.
what we have to do is to start investing in our grassroots programs. That is where it starts. And if you invest properly in your grassroots program, where you start identify children between the ages of 6 and 10, get them to start playing football, get them to start having fun, get them to start loving the game, they'll start to grow into people who appreciate the game and want to continue. We have so many ambassadors, people like Bonnie, Jody, who can inspire these young ladies to continue to play. But just like in the male part of football, we are over dependent on schoolboy and schoolgirl football to develop talent. And that is insufficient because 2 months and 3 months of football cannot facilitate development. What these young kids need to be doing is to be attached to a club where they're playing competitive football year long or at least 9 months for the year. And that is why we are lagging behind other teams in Concacaf because we don't have that sustainability where we are having these kids playing football for a long period of time.
Mm-hmm.
When people like Bonnie got scholarships to go overseas, that was really the outlet where a lot of Jamaican players, after doing very well in the schoolgirl football, would be identified as good players. They would get scholarships and then go to the US, participate in the NCAA tournaments, and after graduating from schools, they would matriculate to various professional sports. And that's the source of where a lot of our local players are now getting into the professional field. But we still need to have a vibrant local competition that is properly invested and sponsored by corporate Jamaica, where we can continue to unearth talent. After the girls finish playing schoolgirl football, they need to play for these clubs so that they can continue their development. And that is where we are lagging.
Junior,
Cool.
the coach is.
Thank you, Coach Price.
The coach gave us the blueprint, Junior. Step forward. You have a plan to emulate this blueprint on the island, Junior.
I have a plan, but I'll have to introduce that to Coach Price later on because I don't want him jeopardize his job. But Coach Price, one thing with me, and as a fellow Brazilian that comes from Jamaica, when we look at how Brazil play football, and you can wake up anybody out of them sleep from if there's somebody sleep for 20 years and then get up and look at a team and say, that is a Brazil football game. When you look at Argentina, you can say that is an Argentinian football game. Spain, England, et al., right?
Mm-hmm.
Even Mexico, to talk about closer to our region, Mexico. For you as a coach that has hands-on experience with our Jamaican players, do you think Jamaica has an identity in football? Do you think it is necessary? And what would you think is Jamaica's identity if we don't have one?
Yes, I believe Jamaica has an identity, but I don't believe that we utilize it and maximize it. What we have in Jamaica is that we are blessed with speed and athleticism, and we need to use that to overpower teams. Teams can match up with our speed and our explosiveness and our skill, and that is what we need to use as our trademark, where we can compete against teams that possibly may be technically better than us because we are very athletic, we are very powerful, properly built, and we have a lot of skill. We need to use that as an advantage over the rest of the teams in Concacaf. And we have shown, even in the last 3 years, when you look at the last three Gold Cup tournaments, we have reached the semi-finals of the last three Gold Cup tournaments, not because we had better squads than the rest of the teams there, but because of the skill and the explosiveness we had with our athleticism on the field of play. And so we have to look at it and decide that this is our identity. This is what makes us different. This is what makes us stronger. This is what makes us competitive, and utilize that athleticism and speed to the detriment of other teams.
So if Coach Andrew Price was coaching Jamaica right now, what would a Jamaica team look like under you?
Well, the Jamaica team under me would be very explosive. We would have wingers that are fast, who handle the ball well, and you look for a nice big striker like Shamar Nicholson, and you try and get it in the box to him for him to do his magic. You know, I mean, when you look at Jamaica, we have people like Leon Bailey. Leon Bailey does so well in the Bundesliga. You put Leon on one of the flanks, and you make him terrorize full backs. You let him get down to the byline and put over that square, and you have tall, well-built, strong Jamaicans who can get up there and put the ball in the back of the net. And I believe that is the forte that we should use going forward. We have speedy, skillful wingers, and we have powerful, strong strikers. And, you know, I believe once we use that to our advantage, we can compete with any team in CONCACAF.
Discussing here with Jamaican football with Coach Andrew Price of Humble Lion, talking about Jamaican football and the landscape of football in the region on a whole. Junior, you have any more questions for the coach?
No, I'm coming to know the coach ready to go watch the second half.
but before you go, Coach, one more question I would like to ask in terms of the Jamaican Premier League getting ready to start the truncated. Is there any transfer window season, and what's the timeline on that in terms of players moving from one team to the next?
No, there's no transfer. The transfer window has already been closed. It was open on the 1st of January, the last one, the 1st of January, and it closed on February 1st. Okay. So basically, though we didn't start the league on time, the clubs have to utilize those players that were registered from that period in this truncated season. Now, the next window opens in July, and it runs until November, so that they can transfer players for the upcoming season, but they wouldn't be able to use them for the truncated season.
Yeah, so Humble Lion have to work with who them have right now.
Exactly, we have to work with who we have. We have to work with those players who stayed with us throughout COVID and were loyal, and we were loyal to them, and we are going to work with them. We have a nice blend of youth and experience, and you know, we're just going to see where it leaves us when the end of the season comes.
Yeah, so the last edition of the Premier League, you guys did quite well, right? So, I mean, we're supposed to expect some nice from Humble Lion again this year. Why not? Even truncated.
Definitely. I mean, I think we can
not.
be I think we can be competitive, and I believe our chances are as good as any team that is in the Premier League. At the termination of last season, we were tied for third, and I believe that if the season had been completed, we would definitely had a great opportunity to become champions. So we'll just see where this truncated season leaves us. It's not a long period of preparation, but sometimes you have to play yourself into shape, and we're just going to take it week by week and see where it leaves us.
Yeah. Thank you, Coach. Thank you, Coach.
So now you find a new team, because Coach Price, let me tell you, I'm more lines to bring, you know.
Nothing wrong with that.
Side.
Nothing wrong with that, man. Everybody have to have them side, and everybody can be Brazilian, you know. Some people are
Hey,
Argentine.
that is true. That is true, coach. But you don't know, we start with a team who's a fast pacer. All right, trendsetter.
Yeah,
So
yes.
if I'm Lion want me support them, I have to start off fast. All right.
All right, brother.
All right,
Coach, thank you
guys.
for
Well,
joining
thank
us,
you for
family.
having me.
Good luck
Yes.
on the
Yeah.
upcoming season, and wishing you all the best, family. Wishing you all the best. You know.
All right. Thank you, and you keep up the good work.
Yeah. Stay safe,
All right,
family.
thanks, guys. Bye.
All right. Bye.
All right. Coach of Humble Lion FC in the Jamaican Premier League. Coach Andrew Price joined us in Yard Ballers segment. Quickly before we go to some more news in Yard Ballers, as the Brazil-Venezuela second half just started, Brazil still leading 1-0 football, family. Let's get quick opinions on the European Championship currently going on. Your thoughts on the tournament so far as we're pushing up against the clock, Junior, and come on. Big highlights.
It's a good little tournament. I don't know you talk about if Jose Moreno no wrong about nothing at all, him no wrong about your boy, Frank.
What you
Frank
mean? Don't you see
almost
that?
I mean like Frank almost wet the bed, the 3-2. Ukraine pressure the man, I see the man a sweat. I mean we done the kind of chilling. It's a good little tournament. You know, Raheem always rise to the occasion when his back is against the wall. You know, never have a good season in the Premier League. So he rewarded Southgate by scoring the winning goal. 1-0. I'm sure I'll do better. I think it's a nice little tournament. And Italy is my side. I am sorry. And I tell Kevin, say, next Valentine's Day, he must sing to me like how the Italian them sing them anthem. Passionate. So Italy on my side. Belgium really, really look good. Hazard 2.0, it's filling the slot. They might need Hazard fatter. But they're doing very well. Lukaku, full of confidence. So it is a nice little tournament and it's going to be exciting.
Netherlands defeated Ukraine 3-2. Junior, Italy, Belgium, all winners. Your thoughts quickly on European Championship so far?
The most impressive person so far for me at the championship is Calvin Phillips.
Who?
Calvin Phillips, the England Leeds.
Oh, midfielder.
No disrespect the man. Remember, couple people at bars say, "Oh, come on, Jamaica, come play for Jamaica." No? You remember? But Calvin Phillips definitely. Italy, definitely, but they have a left side they have a right side problem. They're too left-sided.
Okay.
And it wasn't until Mancini made a change. But I don't know if you guys saw the news that homeboy is out. So they're bringing in Dalat.
Oh really? Yeah, I didn't see that report.
Yeah. So let's see what happened down Italy's right side. We still not see the big dog yet. France don't play yet. But I'm gonna tell you this right now. Two things. Germany will wet the bed. But promise on this. Germany not winning a game. And second, I'm not going to kill that boy. But I'll kill that boy now. I'm going to kill Nathan, well not kill, but Nathan Ake.
Yeah.
You came on for Daily Blind. And as you come on the other side to score 2 quick goals, one of them, it almost felt like I was watching my boy from Manchester United, the Swedish brother, that I hope don't play for Manchester United ever again in life. How
Zlatan,
eh?
What else, Zlatan?
Yeah, man.
You talking about Victor Lindelof?
Lindelof.
Like
I can look like Lindelof today. It looked like he never want to play. So I put the both goals solely on his shoulder.
And
Daily Blind had the Ukraine attack at bay. Ake could not replace Daily Blind. So I don't think it's that big of a deal that Ukraine came back against the Netherlands. Netherlands look for real.
Yeah,
So,
they were quite entertaining, and that's one of the big knocks on Frank de Boer, right? Is that the fact that his teams are pretty boring, but today they look quite entertaining.
Stop
yes.
trying to bring Atlanta. Let me tell you something. De Boer, when Daily Blind came off the field, he hugged one person. Did you guys see who Daley Blind hugged?
We don't watch man who come off the field, Junior.
Ruud van Nistelrooy. That is the reason why Netherlands look attacking. That's the reason why Netherlands. It is not Frank de Boer.
It's not Frank de Boer. You guys quickly surprised that Marcus Rashford didn't start for England in the opening game against Croatia. Are you concerned about this old Croatian outfit with Luka Modric, 35 years old, in this midfield?
Before the disrespect my side, let me talk for my side, because England is my side.
Oh, God.
The bigger story is the 85 million pound man.
Did not.
5% from down at Germany couldn't even make the bench. Y'all realize Jadon Sancho was not on the bench.
Yeah, they don't need him, Junior. For all Croatia.
I go pay 85 million. See, listen to me. Bayern, or nobody can just cut the price, but take 10 million off of the price. Only chaos that orange peeler come up on you, 85 million. Come on, how many get that side, one?
Hey, look, and I mean, like, I think Southgate does love experiment, because Chilwell had, not because I'm from Chelsea, but Chilwell had a very good Champions League game. He had a good Champions League tournament. And where Southgate though. No matter about for England, it's coming home. It's going nowhere. Bus brought down, shop lock. No, nowhere. We not get it, Junior.
I think there's a love. He really likes Kieran Trippier, who also had a good year with Atletico Madrid.
But he had a good game. I just know the Kyle Walker. Yo, every time I see Kyle Walker, I laugh. Kyle Walker agent must have a friend on St. Mary. I St. Thomas.
No, but on a serious note though, what position Trippier play?
He plays
all over.
He's supposed to. He's registered as left back, but he pushes way up the field.
Right back. No, Trippier is a right back. Yeah. Trippier doesn't play a left back. Trippier is a right back. Yeah. From to Atletico, soon to Manchester United. He's a right back.
Yeah.
Luke Shaw, Chilwell, who are left backs, and you start Trippier over the two of them.
Mm-hmm.
Because Trippier gives you more, right?
But Southgate is known to play players out of spot. I tell you, even this experimenting, anyone bit loose today, them would have name him raw.
Yeah.
Them would have really eat him raw, because trust me, I just think he figures that Trippier is a utility player.
Yeah, he's quite useful. Quickly, Belgium, your thoughts on the Belgian team? You mentioned them earlier. Come on, but your thoughts on the fact that they won pretty easily against the Russian team, 3-0. What do you expect from this Belgian outfit?
I mean, we always expect something great from them. I mean, like, them have good young talent, and they play well together as a team. It's the Lukaku show. The man confidence gone right through the roof and can do no wrong, So I just think Belgium is one of those teams that we really have to watch. They should do really well.
Yeah, big game coming up in Euro Championship this week. France versus Germany. Who do you guys think will take that one? I mean, will Benzema be available for this game?
Injured?
Yeah, I thought he picked up a knock in the last friendly game. I'm not sure. I guess it may be a game time decision. I haven't checked on his status lately, but France should be heavily favored against this German team, and no fairy tale for Yogi Löw going out.
No, I mean, like the book of picking coach. Yeah.
No.
I really think that France is going to beat them. I mean, who them are, Kai?
And them have Timo Werner, okay? A Chelsea player.
You understand? So, Big Ben, Giroud, I really think that France will take it over Germany.
Yeah. Junior, of course you think France will take it, right?
The Germany now win the game, but they have some food question.
Quickly, let's wrap up on Copa. Yeah, go ahead, Junior.
Mbappe going to score a trick.
Mbappe going to score a hat trick. Yeah, quite possibly. Quite possibly. Quickly on Copa America. Um, two groups of two groups of teams, two groups of five. The top four goes to the knockout round. Brazil is currently playing Venezuela, and they're leading 1-0, and Colombia versus Ecuador later on this evening. Of course, this Copa America is occurring with a lot of controversy. It's Brazil's tournament to lose.
Mm-hmm.
Junior,
Yeah.
you're quiet, eh?
You know what I want to happen?
What?
I want Brazil and Argentina to make it to the final, and both teams refuse to play.
Really?
I want the teams to protest. Yes, because there's a protest. Argentina was supposed to host. It was supposed to be Argentina and Colombia hosting first. But because of COVID, the man them say, yo, we cannot host it. And Brazil jump up and run down host Copa Cup now with the players themselves saying they don't think they should host it. They don't think the Copa Cup should be playing. Right?
Yeah.
This is a political thing. This is we've gone through a whole year of COVID lockdown, and we're trying to figure a way out without going with the way that the rest of the world is going. Right? I really hope Brazil and Argentina make it to the Copa final and come together and say we are not playing in protest. What the hell the president is going to say? Oh, well, you guys are no longer Brazil and Argentinian citizens. Them can't, not kick them out of the country.
So why not just? So why wait till then?
Yeah, why even show up?
No?
Because that is the biggest game, right? That would be the marquee game. That would be how you send your message. Is that we are going to play under protest. It never worked. All right. Last game, we don't see nobody come on the field. Because it's sad. It is sad. And this is the same. Boy, let me choose my words kindly, because I am a bad man, but I'm not a smart. I'm a smart bad man. I'm not a mad bad man. But I'm going to disrespect the Brazilian and the president, you know. But remember, the president used to say, oh, it's just a flu. You remember?
Yes.
You remember how he acted? So I'm not going to sit here now and act like, oh, I'm glad Copa, something the Copa is playing. But I'm going to sit and act like that right now.
Yeah. Come on. Quickly, your thoughts on this Copa America tournament, and let's get ready for yard ballers.
I mean, it shouldn't have, been given to Brazil. It's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
And with the Venezuela news, with all these players, with COVID, it just makes it seem, that it's a little bit dangerous, and something should be more important than football.
And Venezuela had what, 13 players that tested positive?
They had to fly in an entire team. They had to go scoop up some people from all over the globe and fly them in. That's how serious it is. So let's just see what's going on.
Yeah, let's see what's going on for real. Copa America started today at 5 p.m. our time. Brazil versus Venezuela is currently going on. Let's get ready for yard ballers. Come on, and any other news in the landscape of Jamaican football? Yard ballers.
Never really go on this weekend. The players that we have in USL, them gonna Japan gonna get them booked. So one of the biggest news is that Nico Brett of Birmingham, he scored his 50th 5-0 goal in USL. I think that the other Jamaican will score the Molipa goal there, Adian Kelly. So Nico, he has 6 goals already for the season, and I think Nico should do really, really well this season, because he's a good person and a good player, and I'm really happy for him. And he promised that he is going to join us to come talk about the new season, how things are going, when he's available. So that's all that's going on. The other Jamaicans them play, them not do nothing. Who don't ride the bench, never in the squad. So hopefully next week we'll have some things going on.
Yeah.
I'm the one ask Coach Price though. Oh my God, I'm gonna forget. Want to ask him, who scheduled game for 8:30 a.m.?
Well, you can ask him. I'm sure he's hearing you.
I was like, who scheduled? He has a game at 8:30 a.m. Like, really, dude? Oh, God.
So really do. Can you elaborate on that for the football family? Come on.
What, the Premier League? The
Yes.
Premier League schedule. You have it, you can put it up?
Yeah, I'll pull up the schedule here in a second, but
the game. It was I mean, I guess with heat, they probably took that into consideration. Then why not have the curfew? Oh,
Remember COVID start midday, you know.
I was saying, why not have the games in the evening? So look at the schedule. Right. First of all, years in Jamaica is 90 degrees, right? So you have some games at 1 o'clock. Some of them games are gonna have 15 water breaks, and it's going to be 150 minutes of football going, because this doesn't make no sense.
So
you have games at 1 o'clock, games at 3:30, 8:30 a.m. Yo, players are gonna be so lethargic. Because you have to wake up, you have to be at the field 1 hour before time. So you have to wake up what time? 6:30, get ready. Madness. I mean, I agree with Coach Price. Just get the money where you have the sponsorship, put it in a kitty, divide it up, pay the players them salary, right? Get them, or even give them what them call them, compassionate grants or something, and just let the players them relax themselves. It's 66 games why play in the first round. That's a lot of games.
Saturday, Sunday, and Monday schedule just released by the Jamaican Premier League. Humble Lion will take on Cavalier. So Coach Price and his Humble Lion outfit will take on Cavalier in one of those opening games at 3:30 p.m. That will precede. That will before the be preceded by the Arnett Garden versus UWI game at 1 p.m. It is what it is. I mean, make the best of it. Let's see what happens. I mean, like Coach Price alluded to earlier, he has a responsibility, to paraphrase, and he's going to step forth and do the task at hand. The Jamaican Premier League Association, or the foundation that runs this league, they desperately need to try to get some games going. So it is more lines.
But at what cost, though? But at what cost? Detrimental.
This is true.
And he's right, because these things lead to injury. Yes, we like that they're going to the 5 sub rule, and he's trying to get the concussion sub rule put in there. How much players him say, 50?
Yeah, they can have a squad of up to 50 and a match day.
Of 30. All them players get paid. Mercy.
That is NFL level squad, right, Junior?
Madness.
Yo.
But yeah, Junior.
No, nothing.
Junior. But yeah, that's it. We'll see how it goes. Football family. Round 1 of the Jamaican Premier League slated to kick off June 26th. Arnett versus UWI is the first game at 1 p.m. And we'll see how it goes. National Stadium, UWI venue, Stadium East. Those are the respective venue that they will utilize.
And we're putting something together for Jamaican Premier League fans.
Yes.
And the thing too, because I'm trying to figure out, what are we going to watch it on? Is it going to be? I mean, I have to ask the questions. I've been looking. Will it be streamed on YouTube? Because you have to. Because if fans are not allowed, you see, and this is the thing too. When it comes to marketing, it's just ridiculous. You want the fans to be engaged. You have to stream it. Everybody has to see it. Put it on all the platforms. It does not take anything. But one little man stopping on the stands with a tripod and whatever. Digicel is a sponsor. Give the people unlimited credit. Make them stream it. Facebook stream it live. Instagram live. YouTube. I mean, just allow the fans to come in and be a part. Not at 8:30 though. Come now watch an 8:30 match. It's ridiculous. No, it's not gonna work. But I am excited to see.
But it's 8:30 on a Sunday. Come on. I mean, most people will be at home on a Sunday morning, right?
I
So,
watch the Premier League not 8 no one. I don't know if you do that.
and it's quite strategic that all the 8:30 starts are Sunday. So, you know, while you're cooking Sunday dinner, you can go ahead and just turn on the stream.
If there's a stream, so I'm looking for so if I see the information, I'll pass it on. But for now, I don't see anything about a stream. So
Yes, yes.
we need to get it.
I mean, there's talk about the stream, so we need to get the official stream link from the sources. So that's it for Yard Ballers. Come on.
Yes,
All right.
now go on.
All right. Remind football listeners that Jamaica will play US tonight, 10 p.m. on Fox Sports if you're living in the US, Fox Sports 1 if you're living in the US, and on CVM if you're living in Jamaica, 9 p.m. Jamaican time, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Right, football family?
Yes.
All right, all right. Junior, this is it, you know. Come on, I to know.
Come on, my God,
Yo, you can connect with us on Instagram at Ballchat Podcast. We're on Twitter at Ballchat1. We're on Facebook at Ballchat. You can email us at ballchatpodcast@gmail.com. We want to thank Coach Andrew Price of Humble Lion for joining us. Yo, Argentina win the Copa America for Lionel Messi. Please.
Neymar just scored a penalty. It's 2-0 Brazil.
Me don't care about them side, Junior. Argentina win the Copa America for Lionel Messi.
Whatever.
Bless up, family.
Later.